My name is David Martin. I come from France, and my passion is underwater, especially underwater filming, for more than 20 years now.
And so, when and where did you take your first dive?
When I was a kid living in France, I was, I think, 12 years old, and I first learned to dive in a swimming pool because we were living not by the sea. And I dived first in Nice, south of France, where I was 13 and take my first dive. As far as I remember, I've always been passionate for diving, and as soon as I get the edge to do it when I was 12, then I went for it in Nice, and it was unbelievable. But the first impression I had when I took my first dive was like it was a different world, but not only for the animals and life you see, but for the surrounding, you know, how do you feel like flying and the sound of your bubbles and so on. So it was a complete different world for me. But the step I took is that I was so passionate for the underwater world is at 18 I became a diving instructor, started to work around the world to follow my passion. And actually when I was 18 I lead my first documentary in Nicaragua, and I was the first to film the freshwater sharks in the lake Nicaragua, and that was a big step for me. Yeah. So I went there on my own. I spent about 2 months in Nicaragua and filming and learning and studying those sharks that going up rivers to go in the lake. And that was one of the best experiences I ever had, because when you're 18 and you start your dream, and it's an amazing feeling. I was not very much interested in photography or filming on land. For me, it was more about what I can see underwater and how can I bring it back up. I decided to make a full career of filming underwater because I was doing more and more of that, adding to my job as an instructor, and then I had to choose because I couldn't do both. So I choose what I like most, which is going on my own and filming and bring back footage for documentaries. I really think that anybody who dives today see the underwater world with his own mind and experience and background. As an underwater cameraman, for sure, I got me or any other cameraman or photographer had a bit more experience and a vision of what they see because they know one particular animal more than somebody else. But in the end, it's all about passion. So whatever your background, your experience is, you feel it from inside. Underwater, you have to understand that when you see a documentary on TV, all those 20, 50 minutes you see took a long, long time to get there, and most of the time you have to be very, very patient, even more than land filming, and most of all you have to know exactly when something specific is going to happen and where, because underwater it's all involved with seasons and weather and you know, reproduction of fish, and the fish are moving. A lot of them move from coast to coast and very far from one place to another, so it's more about when to go, at what time exactly, at what period, full moon or no, and then wait and be at the right place at the right time. Well, I film in different countries in the world, mostly tropicals because I don't like cold water, to be frank, and I film sperm whale in the Caribbean for the BBC, for Canal Plus in France, tiger sharks in South Africa, and so on. And basically my passion and my first focus is always on shark. I've been passionate for sharks for many years, and being an instructor and an underwater cameraman around the world, especially in the tropics, has allowed me to see a lot of sharks, to film a lot of sharks, from tiger sharks to great whites to any whale sharks in the Philippines, where they congregate for one period of the year, a lot of them. And so yes, it's been all around the world, mainly tropical seas. But when you film, interesting thing, when you film, sharks are attracted with electric fields. So most of the sharks will be attracted whatever is metallic underwater, which is a propeller of an engine, a weight belt, a tank, camera. So when I film, for example, tiger sharks, a lot of them come to have a bite at the camera because it's metallic. If you swim next to me, if you dive next to me without a camera in your hand, the tiger shark will come, swim around you, look at you, but will never try to come and have a bite or anything because you don't have anything metallic on it. When you have a camera, they come to bite on a camera often because it changes their electric field perceptions. They just have a bite, see it is not a fish, and then that's it. So yeah, it's quite, you know, you get quite a lot of adrenaline on those moments. Whales and dolphins are beautiful animals. Luckily for us, they breathe air, so they come to the surface. So it's a lot easier to find them and go dive or film them. It's very difficult to dive on scuba with whales and dolphins because they're scared of the bubbles. It's a lot easier on snorkeling. I had the chance to film whales, very close encounter with whales in the South Pacific in Polynesia, where humpback whales come with their babies for 3 or 4 months in warm waters, as well as sperm whales in the Caribbean. And that was probably some of the best encounters I have on the water because they're huge animals and they're mammals. So it's not like a fish. You see that they have a brain, they think, they socialize between them. It's a lot closer to us than a fish, which is basically only food and reproduction. A couple of years ago, I was in the Sea of Cortez filming giant squid. It was very nice. It was swimming at night. Those big squids come from the bottom very deep. And the fishermen, when they catch one, the other one come follow it and eat. They eat one by one. They eat themselves. They're cannibalism. So it's very nice to get that on film. And Sea of Cortez is a nice place to dive with seals. And seals are very curious. They come to play with you like a small dog. You dive and they play with you. They bite your fins. They don't hurt. It doesn't hurt. You play with them. It's wonderful. The Sea of Cortez for that is a very good place to interact with seals, marine mammals, like if you play with your dog. Sometimes I go with film crews and documentaries, but most of the time I prefer to go on my own. I choose to work alone in a way that I make footage, and then I contact those big productions because I know, about speculation, they're looking for this or that particular shot that they don't have. So I prefer to go like this because I'm on my own. It's a lot. I can appreciate the underwater world more than when you're on a film crew and you have, you're tied with the time. You have to film this, get out of the water, and again and again and again. When on my own, I choose the place, for one specific event or animals to film, and this gives me the chance to bring along with me some divers that I know. Now, when I have people with me that interact with what I'm filming, for example, we have a tiger shark swimming around me, I'm filming, and then I got in the shoot a diver, which is Mr. Anybody, with the tiger shark or with the whale. Then when you see that on TV, the general public can see that, oh, I can do that. It's more, it's not the underwater world is for everybody. It's not only for marine scientists or reporters, and all animals, if they want to come close to you, whoever you are, they will. Thailand is Indian Ocean, and it has the best of Indian Ocean. Actually, in the Similan, close to Phuket, you got two kind of formations on the water. You got a coral reef, like you can have in the Maldives, and you got big boulders block, like in the Seychelles, in the same place. So actually, diving in Similan, you have the same thing like if you dive in the same time in the Maldives, in the Seychelles. The life around Thailand is very nice on the water, very rich. You got from big fish, whale sharks, mantas, to macro stuff, small stuff, seahorse, frogfish. Everybody likes it, and you get it for all. Either you're a lover of big stuff or small fish, you have it all in Thailand. So basically, if you have to choose a place in Southeast Asia to live and to make a living with the underwater world like I do, Phuket is the place to be.